head of the Union Pacific and the hero of the Transcontinental Railroad, has been stealing millions of dollars from the U.S. government. Durant has been taking advantage of the government's offer to fund railroad construction by drastically overcharging for supplies and labor. He's pocketed $16.5 million of taxpayer money, all the while paying off politicians to look the other way.
The railroads were being funded through these financial schemes that were made possible by not only no regulations, but members of Congress who were actually in on the schemes, being paid off by the corporations and given stocks at discounted rates. The American public is furious.
Your Honor, I have here receipts showing that the cost of construction was less than half of what Mr. Durant estimated. Mr. Durant, I ask you, what happened to the rest of the money?
We have a right to make a reasonable profit.
A reasonable amount? 100% is a reasonable amount?
Well, who is to define what is reasonable and what is not reasonable?
Mr. Durant, our records clearly indicate that you've made a profit of over 100%. with no records of where that money is. So I ask you again, where is the money, Mr. Durant?
Once the scheme is exposed, investors run scared, and railroad stocks plummet, leaving the nation's economy in jeopardy.
Everyone is so excited about pouring money into railroads. But when the scandal breaks on the scene, suddenly railroads don't look too good. It's really not unlike the dot-com bubble of the late 1990s. Everyone gets overextended, and at some point all bubbles burst.
1/3 of the country's 360 railroad companies go bankrupt, sending the economy into a tailspin. It's the crisis that comes to be known as the Panic of 1873.
The Panic of 1873 resulted from overexpansion in railroads, speculation in railroads, and it brought down much of the American financial industry. The financial panic spread to the broader economy.
The panic causes the New York Stock Exchange to close for 10 days. And America descends into its first Great Depression. The nation plummets nearly $2 billion into debt. 20,000 businesses close, and 1 in 8 Americans are left unemployed.
I think there's a sense of desperation. Conditions were very harsh, and the promises made by the railroad companies didn't pan out.
As his first term nears its end, President Grant is desperate to pull America out of the crisis.